Vince Carter, I'd like to get your reaction to all the potential NBA talent that has come out of this country in recent years, and especially for this year's NBA draft.
I think it's a lot of talent, and I think the young men that are currently in the NBA are really holding their own and doing a great job. And of course, we know the talent that is soon to be our future NBA players as well. We'll do the same. I've gotten the opportunity to watch Andrew Wiggins play, and very impressed. And I'm very thankful of my time in Toronto and to really have an impact in those guys' lives just through the game of basketball. So it's just great to see these young men grow up, and now having the opportunity to do that for the next generation of for Canadian basketball. But it kind of makes me feel old.
Makes you feel old. How else does it make you feel when you hear that so many of these players were inspired to play the game and be great in the game by watching you as a Toronto Raptor?
It's still hard to believe. I mean, I just remember my time there and just finding my way and just trying to really survive and do what I can, just not only just for the team and not for myself, but as I grew older and through my time there, just for the country in general. And we tried each and every year just to gain recognition and get the team on the national stage so the world can really see the hidden gem that's in Toronto. And when we got our chance to play on national TV, I'll never forget it against 51. I mean against Phoenix, I had 51 points, which was my career high. And I was like, well, what better stage than to have my best game and really help put the city on the map and help the Toronto just gain recognition around the world, other than, of course, the All-Star game and the dunk contest, of course.
Of course. Take me back to those days as a Raptor. What sort of sense did you have that your presence was helping plant seeds for this next generation? How aware of that were you?
I don't think I was aware at all. Like I said, I was just really trying to find my own way and just, still learning what it means to be a professional basketball player and understand the celebrity of it all, just, because it was one thing just being drafted and following, yet another draft pick to the Toronto Raptors along with Stoudemire and T. Mac and Marcus Camby. But I think after that special night in February, All-Star Weekend, Saturday, it just took off before I was really ready to handle it. And I had great veterans on my team to really help me, or I think I would have drowned. But at the same time, just as we go farther and just accomplish more things, winning our first playoff game, winning our first playoff series, just opening night of the new arena, just so many things that go down in the history of Toronto basketball. To be a part of it and have success there, I didn't know. I think as my years go on and you start seeing young kids grow up and start to talk about their time as young kids, and some of the kids even in my basketball camp that I had in Toronto, that's when you're like, man, I had no idea. I was just trying to, fulfill my dream and do it and grow up in front of Canadian fans.
You mentioned you've had a fair amount of time to watch Andrew Wiggins. What advice do you have for a young athletic forward about to enter the NBA?
Ask questions. When you go in there and hit the ground running, I think he's very talented. He has the ability. There's a reason why his name is thrown around with being in the number 1, number 2 pick. So we know he's definitely has the ability. I just hope he can find a veteran that can stay in his ear and kind of show him the way and to make his course a little easier. Because I tell you, that was the best thing for me is Charles Oakley, day one, really putting his arm around me and saying, hey, I'm going to show you the way in this league. And I think once I stepped on the floor, I was able just to be myself and not having to really learn everything in the fire. I was learning it, but at the same time, I was prepared. And I think the preparation as all of these young players have learned and will learn as they go continue their career, the preparation of it all is most important, because once you feel comfortable, you can kind of be the player that you are.
Vince, what do you think will ultimately be your legacy in Toronto? Your separation from the Raptors, or the impact you've had on a young generation of basketball talent?
Well, I hope that the impact, and I think it's really coming to fruition because of all of the athletes in my time in Toronto that are now coming about and doing extremely well in the NBA. I hope that's what it's all about, and I'm going to continue to be me. I'm going to continue to really support Canadian basketball, and I mean, like I said, you look at all that's coming out right now. I think with these guys continuing to do the work that they've done, and now come Thursday, yet another player that will be in the NBA from Canada. I just think there's a lot of people who deserve a lot of credit, not only myself for just being around, but I think Steve Nash really is a big impact in Canadian basketball as well.
One question for you related to today's NBA. News today that the representative for LeBron James has told the Miami Heat that he will use the early termination option. And that could mean he's going to explore other teams. It could mean he's going to redo his contract in such a way that would help them build a better team around him. Just your reaction to that news today about LeBron and the Heat.
Well, it's news to me. I've been doing basketball camp all day, so I missed out on the news. But I mean, I guess he's doing what's best for him. I mean, it's tough to really comment or critique how a guy wants to go about his NBA career. Maybe he's feeling something, seeing something. I don't know. It's tough. I don't have enough information. I probably never will. So it's all hearsay and opinion from me. But he's the groundwork he's laid, and things he's accomplished in his career is amazing. And he's definitely one of the best players in our league today. So I mean, he's earned the right to make decisions in his basketball career. So I'm pretty sure he's going to make the right one.
Vince Carter, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.